and is the main character, but she's in a world of trouble. Her life is literally on the line. You can see it in her body language. Her eyes are fixed on NCD, who's staring back at her with a mix of intensity and concern. What's going on here? Anne's thinking, what do I do now? NCD's presence is an obstacle, but at the same time, he's a potential ally. Anne's instincts kick in. She reaches for her trusty sidearm, but NCD beats her to it. The sound of metal hitting metal echoes through the air. It's a tense standoff.
Let's talk.
The game Rue has created has blown the competition out of the water. It's not just any game. It's a AAA release made possible by the company's massive investment. The game's popularity is soaring around the world.
Stats maxed. New skill unlocked.
In the game, players aren't just passive observers. Their choices change the story and difficulty. The game is so immersive that players are hooked, playing for hours on end, and starts to check the character info. The reason why she's been working overtime the past few months, and sees the writer's model and can't help but notice the similarity. The writer's tone is playful, yet there's an underlying threat. She's amused, but also wary, and thinks, this guy's a writer, so he's probably harmless, right?
Stop. You're wrong.
The writer's words echo in her mind, and Anne can't shake off the feeling that she's in trouble, and tries to reason with herself. He's just joking. I'm not in any real danger. Yet, she forces a smile, but her eyes betray her concern. Anne's grip on her cup tightens as the writer starts to talk. Anne's got a message for Wu Jin. It's a simple, keep up the good work. She's being sincere, but there's an undertone of concern. She's checking in on him, making sure he's not getting overwhelmed, and wants Wu Jin to stay focused. But what blocks her is the looming threat to her life. Anne's reputation is on the line. Everyone despises him now, and it's a matter of life or death. He's running out of time and options. His goal is to stay alive, but it's getting harder.
Stop. You're wrong.
And is frantic, his hands moving rapidly as he searches for a way out. He trips over his own feet, and for a moment he's face down in the dirt. He scrambles to get up, but it's too late. Anne's caught and his pursuers close in. Anne's desperation is turning into panic. He knows he's not as fast or as strong as he used to be. The tension in the air was thick enough to cut with a knife. The tension in the air was thick enough to cut with a knife.
And's got a target on his back, and it's bigger than he is. He's thinking, death always awaits him around the corner. He's been on the run for a while now, and his senses are on high alert. Every creak of the floorboards makes him jump. His eyes are scanning the room for an escape route, any way to get out of this alive. He's got to act fast. His heart is racing, and sweat is dripping down his face. He slips away from the conversation, trying not to draw attention to himself. He's become a ghost, invisible and deadly.
The key action or twist of this chapter: the villain is ambushed by an unexpected notification. Shattering his calm with a jolting glance, WH leaves him bewildered and frightened. The emotional stakes, the villain's carefully crafted mental state, is shattered, revealing vulnerabilities he desperately tried to conceal, leaving him reeling from this brutal exposure of his true nature. The cliffhanger, the notification remains a mystery, a menacing presence that now haunts the villain, leaving him questioning who could be behind it and what devastating consequences await him as a result. Subscribe to Manwa with Hari and join thousands of fans who never miss an update. I've never given you much information. I suppose it's time to get moving.
Grayhan Yuklein's frustration boils over as he meets the assistant who's been helping Professor DeKuan. The assistant's enthusiasm is misplaced, and Grayhan Yuklein can't help but feel annoyed. He's still trapped, still searching for a way out. The assistant's attempts at small talk only make things worse. Who is this guy? Ah. Gray Hanyuklein's frustration turns into anger as he realizes that the information he's been given is nothing more than a script. The professor's preparations are shallow, and Gray Hanyuklein is left feeling betrayed.
Deculian's carefully crafted facade begins to crumble as he attends his first lecture, where the professor's piercing gaze exposes the darkness he's desperately tried to conceal within himself. Deculian's composure shatters, revealing a glimpse of his true emotional turmoil as he struggles to maintain the illusion of normalcy, leaving him vulnerable to the whispers of his own doubts and fears. As the semester unfolds, the enigmatic professor's true intentions remain shrouded in mystery, leaving Deculian to navigate a treacherous web of intrigue and deception, with his very survival hanging precariously in the balance.
Subscribe to Manwa with Hari and hit the bell so you never miss a chapter. We're in a crowded lecture hall, and our protagonist is speaking up as if it's second nature. But Deculian, our resident genius, looks at them like they're a child who doesn't know the basics. Deculian wants to correct our protagonist's etiquette, but they're too polite to raise their voice. Deculian sees this as an opportunity to educate them, but our protagonist's tone is awkwardly childlike. What? Deculian's frustration grows. He's had to teach the basics to someone who should be a master. Our protagonist tries to correct themselves, but Deculian sees it as a weakness they can exploit. Deculian's patience wears thin. He's about to lose control. Stop! You're wrong.
Deculian storms forward, his anger boiling over. He wants to expose the protagonist's ignorance and prove his own superiority. The protagonist blocks him, trying to stand their ground, but Deculian pushes forward. Deculian's confidence grows as he realizes he's the superior one. He's the master of magic, and he won't let anyone question him. The protagonist's attempts to correct themselves only make Deculian more aggressive. He's a force to be reckoned with. Deculian's voice grows louder, drowning out any attempts at reason. I was going to expose that this spell interpretation skill was a lie with an unknown spell, but he got flustered and Deculian's dark past is shattered as he's forced to confront the truth about his father's death. A revelation that threatens to upend everything he thought he knew about himself and his mysterious birth. Emotionally reeling, Deculian is left to grapple with the devastating reality that his father's death was a calculated act of sacrifice, not a tragic accident, leaving him feeling lost and bereft of purpose. The ominous warning from the enigmatic Professor Orifezer hangs in the air like a challenge, as Deculian is left reeling from the promise of Janusnak's impending exposure, and the dark forces gathering to destroy him.
Subscribe to Manwa with Hari and hit the bell so you never miss a chapter.
Stop. You're wrong.
Julie's voice is cold, her words dripping with anger.
That is my conviction as a knight. That was all. All right. I'll do as you say. You've agreed, too.
But Julie's not done yet. She's not gonna let Deculian off the hook that easily. She asks him a question, her eyes boring into his soul.
Are not going to keep our promise until the very end, are you?
The tension is palpable. Julie's waiting for an answer, and Deculian's trying to wriggle out of it. What's going to happen next? Deculian's words are laced with desperation, but Julie's not having it.
Get out of here, Deculian. You're not welcome in our household.
Julie's eyes widen as the crowd. She spots a few others with her.
The truth about the genius of analyzing spells is finally exposed, revealing a shocking web of deceit that threatens to upend the entire academic community in the present moment. The protagonist's carefully crafted facade has been shattered, leaving him vulnerable to the wrath of his peers and the consequences of his actions, which now hang precariously in the balance. The Academy is poised on the brink of chaos, as whispers of corruption and deceit spread like wildfire, and the protagonist's fate remains uncertain, trapped in a world where his survival is no longer guaranteed.
Subscribe to Manwa with Hari and hit the bell so you never miss a chapter. Deculian's already dead, his past self clinging to life by a thread as desperation begins to unravel his every thought. His average talents, once a minor comfort, now feel like a death sentence. The future looms, a never-ending countdown of deaths that will soon be his to face. His mind screams for a way out. I'm already dead. The thought haunts him, a morbid mantra that echoes through his mind with each passing moment. What's to stop him from finding a way? His own self-doubt? The crushing weight of his inadequacy? As he stands on the precipice of his own mortality, Deculian's choices will decide whether he survives or succumbs to the abyss. Deculian refuses to back down, despite the extreme agony he's in. He grits his teeth and focuses on his goal. His determination shines through, even in the face of debilitating pain. However, something goes terribly wrong. He runs out of mana, and his body pays the price.
Mana, 1/3. I feel immensely exhausted.
Deculian's still reeling from the failure, but he won't give up. He calculates the time it'll take to complete the process. It'll take 2 weeks to have the magic circles all over his body. But will he have the stamina to see it through? The first day of the lecture is arriving, and Deculian's forced to make a choice.
Deculian's frustration boils over. How can Sylvia von Josephine Iliad just take everything he's worked for? He demands to know what she wants. He's not getting any younger, and he needs the power to survive.
Stop, you're wrong, she says, her voice piercing through the air. Deculian's eyes narrow. He's not letting her get away that easily.
He takes a step closer, his hands clenched into fists. What she's about to say next could change everything. Sylvia's expression is a mask, but Deculian can sense the unease beneath. He knows she's hiding something. He presses her, trying to get a reaction.
The key action or twist of this chapter unfolds dramatically as the villain's secret plan is revealed through a cryptic message, scrawled on a mysterious wall, leaving allies scrambling for answers. As the stakes rise, the protagonist suffers a crushing blow, losing a vital ally in a brutal fight, leaving their team severely weakened and their morale shattered by the devastating loss. The cliffhanger hangs precariously as the mastermind behind the sinister plot taunts the hero with a chilling phrase, "Halalala," hinting at a catastrophic betrayal that threatens to destroy everything the hero holds dear.
Subscribe to Manwa with Hari and join thousands of fans who never miss an update.
Void energy detected. The void is expanding, and I can feel the ground trembling beneath my feet. The air is thick with an otherworldly power that's both fascinating and terrifying. It's a war zone, and I'm not just talking about the destruction. I'm talking about the human cost. The people around me are running for their lives, desperate to escape this void's deadly grasp. Voice is the last thing I hear before the void engulfs him. Kia. Ugh.
The void has stopped expanding, but it's still a threat. Mana's mana levels are stabilized, but she's not out of danger yet. Dorian knows he needs to contain the void to prevent any more destruction. He's frozen in place, unsure of what to do next. The silence is deafening, and he knows he has to break it soon.
Mana levels stabilized. Energy readings normal.
Dorian's in a disciplinary meeting with his daughter's classmate, Ephraim, but it's not going as planned. Sylvia, the influential family's daughter, is there, and she's taking sides. Dorian knows he needs to turn the results of this meeting around. He spots a familiar glow, scarlet energy, emanating from Ephraim. Ephraim takes a step forward, her eyes flashing with anger. She thinks Dorian's responsible for the trouble, but Dorian knows better. He wants to prove his innocence, but the words get stuck in his throat.
This is all because of that guy.
The disciplinary committee starts to discuss Dorian's case. Ephraim's words spark a chain reaction, and now the committee is turning against him. Dorian's desperate to turn this around. Professor Deculian steps in, his voice calm and authoritative. He wants to find out what really happened between Ephraim and Dorian. But Dorian's getting more and more anxious. He knows he's about to face the music.
The plot thickens as Professor Z declares, his words hanging like a guillotine over the stunned student body, leaving everyone gasping for air in a desperate bid to unravel the sinister truth. The chairwoman's reputation hangs by a thread as the weight of her violent outburst crushes her authority, eroding her influence and leaving her vulnerable to the whispers of betrayal and deceit. The dark and ominous atmosphere lingers as the expelled students' parting words echo through the empty corridors, sending shivers down the spines of her classmates, their minds reeling with the haunting consequences of her defiance.
Subscribe to Manwa with Hari and join thousands of fans who never miss an update. Deculian's words are laced with a mix of guilt and obligation, but I'm not convinced. As we're in this intense situation, Deculian tries to reassure me that I'm in no danger, but I know better. He's playing a long game, and I'm not sure if I can trust him. I ask, "Are you afraid of me catching up?" Deculian's calm demeanor falters for a moment, and I see the faintest glimmer of fear in his eyes. He's trying to hide it, but he's scared. He forces a smile onto his face, but I know better. This is far from over. It seems that Deculian has set a trap for me, and I'm about to fall right into it. Professor Deculian's voice echoes in Manuel's mind. He recalls the conversation they had earlier. Deculian seemed confident, but Manuel is still unsure about his intentions. "Welcome, Professor Deculian." Manuel's grip on the invitation tightens. He's wondering what Deculian wants from him. Is he trying to help or manipulate him? Manuel surveys the crowd at the event. He sees high-ranking nobles and familiar faces. He spots Deculian in the distance, and his mind starts racing with possibilities.
Look who we have here. If it isn't Professor Deculian.
Manuel's eyes dart between Deculian and the crowd. He's trying to piece together the connections between these people and his own life.
Kagan bursts into the academy, forcing a desperate change in his daughter's entrance plans, sparking chaos as his true intentions unfold. Kagan's ruthless tactics have torn his family apart, leaving his daughter to face the consequences of his actions, and her future hanging precariously in the balance. As the academy's hidden dangers emerge, Kagan's daughter finds herself entangled in a web of uncertainty, with her father's survival route now imperiled by his own hand, leaving the outcome hanging precariously.
Subscribe to Manwa with Hari and join thousands of fans who never miss an update. Ganesha, the woman with red pigtails, is on a mission. There's something she wants, and she won't let anyone get in her way. She's found. The professor is now cornered, and his defenses are weakening. Ganesha's words are a constant reminder of his failures, and his expression is a mixture of anger and desperation. What does he want? He wants to silence Ganesha and protect his research reputation at all costs. But what blocks him? Ganesha's unwavering conviction and her determination to uncover the truth. The professor says, the professor's fear of being exposed is taking a toll on his well-being. His body language betrays him, his hands are shaking, and his voice is laced with a desperate tone. What does he want? He wants to avoid the consequences of his actions, to keep his research reputation intact. Professor Deculian wants his reputation to stay intact, but Ganesha's unwavering conviction blocks him. Deculian's hands won't stop moving. He checks the exit twice. His eyes flicker between Julie and the crowd, but he can't bring himself to face either. A sudden, brutal attack unleashes a whirlwind of chaos as Ganesha's true intentions are revealed, shattering the fragile truce between Deculian and her mysterious ally. With her deepest secret exposed, Deculian's heart is torn apart, the trust she had built with her lover shattered by the devastating realization that her partner may not be what they seem. As Deculian's eyes lock onto Ganesha with a mix of rage and helplessness, the very fabric of her world begins to unravel, leaving her vulnerable to a catastrophic fate that hangs precariously in the balance. Subscribe to Manwa with Hari and hit the bell so you never miss a chapter. I need to find anything in Professor Deculian's laboratory. My life depends on it.
You have minutes. After that, everything crumbles.
Alan's life is on the line, and Deculian's reputation is at stake. He needs to qualify for the Magic Tower Committee. Alan's morning routine experiment has him in the crosshairs. He can't afford to fail. Deculian stands by, unimpressed.
Stop. You're wrong. Alan refuses to back down, determined to add his name to the research paper. Deculian needs accomplishments, too. His hands won't stop moving. He checks the exit twice.
Will Alan convince Deculian to take a chance on him?
The dark magic erupts as the professor's research combines with the magical tower, unleashing a blindingly bright golden light that threatens to consume everything in its path. The emotional stakes skyrocket as the professor's true intentions are revealed, forcing Jean to confront the consequences of his own actions and the cost of his research, a bond with a being he may not be able to control. The cliffhanger hangs ominously as Jean struggles to contain the chaos, with the combined usage of the magical tower and his research hanging precariously in the balance, waiting to unleash untold destruction.
Subscribe to Manwa with Hari and join thousands of fans who never miss an update. Brian. Deculian's hands won't stop moving. He checks the exit twice. His eyes scan the room with a mixture of desperation and calculation. The stakes are high. Approval for his club is all that stands between him and social oblivion. Deculian's eyes widen with realization. He understands the magnitude of his actions. If he implements this theory-focused lesson, it'll be a groundbreaking yet potentially disastrous experience. The stakes are incredibly high. Failure could lead to ridicule and the disbanding of his club.
HM. Let's dive into the world of the villain survival route. Our protagonist, Professor Deculian, is on a mission to start a club and navigate the treacherous waters of the Magical Academy.
Deculian's eyes flash with pain as a jolt rocks him. He realizes someone has noticed his talents. He wants to know who and why, but his anxiety spikes. How long will this be kept under wraps? What's blocking him is the fear of being discovered and the potential backlash from the Academy's professors. His hands quiver as he thinks about the consequences. Deculian tries to push the thought aside, but his mind keeps racing.
The key action or twist of this chapter unfolds dramatically as Deculian's secret is finally exposed, leaving everyone stunned in a mix of shock and confusion, the truth hanging precariously in the air. The emotional stakes are higher than ever as Deculian is forced to confront the consequences of his actions, facing the harsh reality of losing the trust and respect of those around him. His relationships forever changed. The cliffhanger hangs precariously as Deculian's fate remains uncertain, the magical administration office closing in on him with an ominous warning, leaving him to navigate the treacherous path ahead with a heavy heart and a burning sense of determination.
Don't miss what happens next. Subscribe to Manwa with Hari right now.